So tonight's the big night. We're going to be opening this case up. I'm going to get started with a little information pitch real quick. And of course, I'm going to let people get into the live stream before I get started. I will make a quick post, really quick. Real quick. Say that again. Where's my YouTube app? There it is. All right. So, you know what? I think I forgot to do something. I did not enable super chats, and I did not enable, there was something else in that list that I didn't enable. I can't remember what, though. Yeah, don't do it, but can you guys tell me if super chats, the super chat button thing is available? If it is, then I won't reset this. But if it isn't, then that means I forgot to change the other stuff too. And I can't remember what it is, but in that list there's two things that I have to flip over. I can see the super chat button. Okay, all right. Well, then I won't mess with it. Then maybe I did it. Maybe I remembered to do it. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I didn't do it. All right. Make a quick post. We're going to keep the current photos. And I don't think I have an LRP photo in here. What are you doing, Mama? Well. Wow. The stuff that I have on this phone is completely different than what I thought. So I will just have to make one. I'm going to use this one little photo here. Oops. Oh, no way. It's the first two deer that I've seen. 3 deer. There's 3. And that one looked like it was like super gray, almost albino looking. I've seen an albino deer here before, one time before. Well, I mean, it was one deer. I've seen it multiple times, but all right. Happening now. Done. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Let me see if I can, what this is gonna look like. Let's twist this around here. And I will set right here. Whoop. While my tripod slips. There we go. There we go. All right. What's up, Jeremiah Kirby? Yeah, look, the reason that I even said anything about that, because used to be I would see anywhere from 13 to 15 deer out here every single evening and night and first thing in the morning, because there's a power plant right next to my house, and I also live, I don't know, maybe 250, 300 yards away from the Ohio River, and they travel a stretch right here. Well, I live in town. Technically, it's town. And you're not allowed to shoot anything in town here. So you're not allowed to hunt in here. So I've always had a massive amount of deer. Because I have a hay field right next to my house as well. And they bed down in here at night. And they eat over here. You know, it's their safe place. And they know, like, I think I have established relationships with them over the years where they know that it's a safe place. And I kind of look after them. But after the hunting season, 2023 hunting season, you know, Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, I noticed that they disappeared. all of them. I had 13 or 15, I'm not sure. Multiple little bucks and a bunch of doe. And I have not seen a deer since probably mid-December until just now. It makes me happy. I'm glad to see a few deer. I don't know how they got here. I'm sure they're not the ones that were here, because they stick to I think it's like a 5-mile stretch right here, and they don't go up across the road and up into town, because that would require crossing a lot of roads, like multiple. They'd have to cross at least 3 or 4 roads to get to the other side where it's kind of wooded, and then there's more roads over there. And if they stay down here, they can pretty much stay off of roads, except a couple little crossroads all the way down the riverbank, all the way to the power plant. The power plant has, I want to say, like 2,000 used to be protected acres, and see, that's what happened. The acreage is no longer a wildlife preserve, and I believe they literally hunted them completely out. They killed every single one of my deer. Well, I mean, they weren't my deer, but again, they were deer that probably shouldn't have been getting hunted the way they did. They shouldn't have hunted them out completely. All right. Yes, discard, please. It's being stupid. All right, we'll get started on opening that case in just a second. I also have a package here from Delicious. I don't know if he'll make it into the chat tonight. I hope he will. There's certainly a link to his channel down in my description that I highly recommend anybody who comes and watches my stream to go. And he's from Poland. Super great guy, got a great accent. Obviously, us Americans, we love our accents. But he's got a great accent. Go and subscribe to his channel. And all the other channels that are in my description as well. Super great people. This is pretty much a family. If you end up in this chat and you like it, and you like what we do here, you pretty much join an online family of folks that have been around. A lot of us, I've been doing this, like, I've been doing like the live stream thing for coming up on 7 years probably. And I've been online for about 8.5 years. It's been a minute. All right, now I finally got the link that I needed. And we're going to create us a post. Whereas I screwed up a minute ago. Where's it at? Where's the LRP photo that I... Come on now. There it is. Okay, next. Text. Yeah, if I can wait for Delicious to show up, I know it's a really weird time of day for him. I even tried to get this one started a little bit early, and I'm going to have to get going real soon, or I will lose daylight. We probably got, I don't know, 15 more minutes of daylight left. Not long. All right, next. Come on. There we go. All right. All right, done. Done. And we are, hey, don't forget that thumbs up or down. Let me give you the pitch. Let me do the, hit the thumbs up. Google likes it. It helps with the algorithm thing. If you care to do it. The case is over here. I did have the camera set up on the case. There's freaking cats everywhere doing their cat thing right now. Gigi's right behind me, right here. There's Gigi. And then Brownie's over there. Garfield's right here. I think Garfield has diabetes. Here, check it out. Where's he at? There he is. There's Garfield. Hey, Garfield, stand up, dude. Show him your belly. Over there is Brownie. Brownie, what you doing, girl? There's Mama, Gray Guy, and the neighbor cat. One of the neighbor cats. There's actually 3 of them that are neighbor cats. Did I flip the camera? I must have. Huh. What did I do to my tripod here? There we go. Now, after I get this opened up and we check it out, and I give y'all a little bit of information that I've gathered LRP wise here, you have to give me a minute to go back in and set up this, reset up the tripod, take the case inside. That should be pretty good. I'm not gonna be able to tell, and I won't be able to read your guys' chat either. Hey, Storm Tracker, Erie Eric, James Ortiz, Fordman. Who has Miss Marilyn made it yet? She might not. Jeremiah Kirby, Spicy Tuna Rolls. What's up? And of course, K-Man, my dude. Getting to see the cats, K-Man. They're everywhere. And there's Little Bit. She's crazy. Little Bit is a crazy cat. Little Bit. Hey, Little Bit, come here. Little Bit, come here. Come here. She's like, I don't know. She's something else. She's got the... She's super active and like kind of teenager acting, but she's quite old, actually. She's probably... I don't know, probably coming up on 10, 11 years old. Most of the cats out here are probably pretty old. I have no idea how old Mama is over there, the Siamese. But if I was to guess, I would say she's probably anywhere in between 10 and 15 years old. She was pretty old. I feel like when she showed up here initially. A little bit I have had for probably coming up on 10 years. So, oh, easy. There's Garfield. All right, here, you got to see him. Look at his big old belly. Garfield, what are you doing? He showed up a super abused cat with a collar that had eaten into his neck and had became part of him. Like skin had formed around. It was awful. It stunk. He had an infection. The day before I left to start filming the TV show is the first time I could ever get my hands on him, and I cut that collar out of his neck. And there's still a permanent ring around his neck. He's getting a face on him like he's going to do something. And then he also almost ripped his right ear off from what I can only assume was ear mites. But I got him medicine to fix that. And he's been doing good ever since. There he goes. All right, I'll just set this tripod up one more time and leave it alone. All right. All right, let's do this. Long. Oh, yeah, let me click this. I might actually post this this 5 minutes. All right, here we go. Clipping now. Okay, the Long Range Patrol. Guys, back in the day, a lot of them would call them LRPs or LRRPs. I see instances of this coming in old footage, and some of the old timers still use that terminology. It's I'm going to say it's something that was passed down from higher commands that they just used that terminology from the actual setup of the long-range reconnaissance patrols back in the day. And it just stuck to when the rations started off. And from what I can tell, from what I can find, in 1966 is the program. Now the rations had started before then, 1964 or 65. I have actually had a first generation, second generation, both. They're very different in one particular way. It's pretty simple. They just didn't tape down two of the corners, and the first generation taped down completely around the outside with green, like gaffer's tape. Anyway, tonight, one other thing I wanted to mention with some of the testimonials that I've seen of guys talking about the actual use of the long-range patrol rations. And a lot of those really come from the Vietnam era when they're talking about the rations. You don't see a whole lot of modern talk about the use of the long-range patrol ration. Those guys, I did not see any talk of them particularly saying that they only were issued one ration. I have heard written accounts of this. I've seen written accounts of this. I've heard this over the years, that these are a low-calorie, 24-hour ration. They can be used as that. And especially these ones, I could see that being the case. You know, I could see somebody need, on a long-range patrol like that being able to get by for 3 days on 3 of these rations. They're pretty calorie-dense. The mains in them are where all your calories, not all your calories, but a lot of your calories, especially back in the day, it's where all your calories came from. The 1998s are pretty special, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion who are into rations or have ever gotten to try these. The only competition these had at this time was the Ration Cold Weathers. The Ration Cold Weathers was a 24-hour ration. It was 2 bags taped together, rubber banded together, different ways that they would attach them together, but they were put together, 2 individual white bags. So I don't really consider that a direct competition to this, where this is a single meal, single bag ration. And also, I will say flat out, as far as a United States issued meal goes, this is the best, in my personal opinion, ration that the United States has ever made, that Natick has ever came up with, components-wise. Obviously, the long-term storage-wise, it's amazing. We're going to get into this thing and see what a case of 1998 LRPs looks like. Now, this case right here, I'm not sure if I bought this case off of Trucker or not. I did buy a case off of Trucker recently. This is not it. But I don't know if I bought this one off of Trucker as well, or if I bought this one off of eBay. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. This is the one I had to dig out. So, and also, this style of LRP, I cannot find any that are dated other than 1998. That's the only year that I've ever seen on this particular style of LRP, which I believe this is a 1 year only. That's my belief. So, if you have something that shows otherwise, oh man, that sucks. Well, can't prevent that now. Like unwrapping a big old Christmas present. An expensive Christmas present, but there's a lot of food in here, so. Alright. Look at that. And this is quite a bit larger than a standard MRE case. A standard MRE case is going to come to about right here, to the end of this lettering roughly, and then it's going to be about that big. You know, basically cut that off. Pretty big difference between this, which there's a lot more individual bags in here. So this does have an outer sleeve on it. that is taped. Let's see if I can get that off there. I don't know if Trucker, I don't know if I got this off Trucker or not. I don't know if he'd do this. Maybe he got it like this. I can't imagine him putting tape all over like this. Damaged the cardboard. All right, on the end down here, we got some information, and it has been ripped by tape. But you got your food packet long range patrol. There is 16 meals contained in here. There should have been a weight on here. Maybe it's right there and I just can't see it. It says weight 20. Maybe it's 20 pounds. I'm pretty sure this weighs in more than 20 pounds. I want to say this weighs in closer to like 25.5, but that's case and all, I do believe. Down here we got our standard box information, and there's your date, 12 of 1998. Cat, watch the tripod. And here is our actual dates on the case, 12/30 of 1998. So the 30th, next to the last day. This would have been the day before New Year's Eve. So they were working right up to the day before New Year's Eve. And there's another piece of tape. Just, yep. All right, let's slide the sleeve off. Hang on. We're going to clip this again. Whoa. All right, I just lowered my table. All right, that looks pretty well in frame. All right, I'm going to clip this now. All right. So this is the case of 1998. Food packet, long range patrol rations. Production date, 12/30/1998. And then it probably does have a date that they want you to inspect them. Huh. Maybe 12 of 08? So 10 years inspections? Wow. I didn't realize these had a 10-year inspection date on them. Because the new long-range patrols that I had did not have I think they just had a 3-year one. I'd have to look at my case. My old case, I haven't seen it in years. So, all right, sleeve off. There's the information. On the end, you can see some of it. Some of it's kind of ripped from tape, but it is what it is. All right. Sealed, never been opened. Oh, wow. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 long-range patrol rations from 1998. What a amazing sight that is. Alright, real quick, we're just going to go through and see what our menus are. There should be 8 different menus in here, times 2, 16 total rations. Right here in the front, we got menu number 7, chili con carne. I'm going to put them right back in so they don't pack funny. Another menu number 7, chili con carne. Menu number 2, beef stew. This feels like a pretty fat one. Menu number 3, sweet and sour pork. Made my mouth water. Seriously, just made my mouth water. Just saying. Here we go. Menu number 8, beef with rice. Got a lot of variety so far here. Menu number 4, chicken a la king. An amazing way to get to try one of the most infamous, I would say infamous, menus out of the MREs and get to try it fresh. Menu number 5, we got lasagna with meat sauce. And we got menu number 6, spaghetti with meat sauce. Should be a repeat over here. We got menu number 2, beef stew. Menu number 3, sweet and sour pork. What's menu number 1? Have I not seen menu number 1 yet? We got menu number 4, chicken a la king again. Menu number 8, beef with rice. Menu number 5, lasagna with meat sauce. These feel nice and slick and clean. Menu number 6, spaghetti with meat sauce. And over here, better be menu number 1. Menu number 1, chicken stew. Times 2. So we got 2 chicken stews. Menu number 1s. They smell a little bit old. They got that vintage, kind of a surplus store. I love the smell. I mean, there's not really a smell that's much better to my, I guess my memory, my scent memory. You know what I mean? All right. There it is. An entire case. 16 long-range patrol rations. Food packet long-range patrols from 1998. We got to pick a menu. And I don't even know where to start. I'm going to have to get your guys' feedback on this. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, they all sound really good. I'm very hungry. I've had to take a break from my antibiotics. I've taken it like a day and a half off right now. I would say my stomach's feeling better, but I was definitely experiencing some issues. So hopefully this won't be an issue after I get it. But let me throw the sleeve back on here real quick so I can take this in. I guess it goes the other way. I think it goes like this. Yep. Went on a whole lot easier. And I also have a package right there from Delicious that I need to get to. Well, that just didn't go so well. Okay. If anybody's got a hard opinion on the menu choice tonight, I'll hear you out. But if something really seems good to me, which I don't know yet, they all sound really good. Let's see. I don't think I'm feeling the beef and rice. Lasagna, you know that'd be good. What else? Beef stew was actually sounding really good to me right now too. So I don't know. Oh. Flip the camera around. You know what? I need something to clean my camera lens with. I've had my fingers all over. I'll use my shirt sleeve. There we go. Well, that looks better already. To me, anyways, it does. Alright. Alright. I put a new board out, but it's already dinged up. Like dented from having something sitting on top of it, but it's clean. Nice and clean. No stains or discoloration. Okay, I gotta go get the case. And got this box from Delicious sitting right here too. But I'm getting to look at the chat right now. Mike Kreischer says Chicken a la King. Chicken a la King's such a famous, like, infamous. It's infamous, really. Like, so many people hated it. So many people hated it. And I have had edible Chicken a la King retort menus, but I have never had a freeze-dried vintage Chicken a la King before. I've never had it. I don't think I've had a sweet and sour pork either. I've had wait a minute, is that what that is? No, that's chow mein, pork chow mein. So yeah, no, I have not had a sweet and sour pork. Wow. Did they make sweet and sour pork? That was only 98, wasn't it? Like, I don't think that was in I tell you what it was in. It was in the 2004 meal cold weathers, because you went from 1998 to 2004 was the next freeze-dried generational single meals where they switched from ration cold weathers to meal cold weathers, and that would have been 2004. I think that was the first year that they came out with the meal cold weather, was 2004. Now, I have some of the food packet cold weathers. What are they? I think I got one set here somewhere. Let me look. Where? Put it in. Huh. Well, maybe I don't. I should have. I think it's behind this box right here. Yeah, right here.
That's a cactus.
What?
She was smelling that cactus.
Right there. Wait, is that just a meal cold weather? Never mind. That's just a meal cold weather. Hold on. Here we go. The food packet cold weather. Technically, this was the next, but this never really happened. This is not something that went into production as far as field use. This was a very limited production, I'm sure. I'm not exactly sure how limited it was, but there are very few of these that even exist. I want to say there's maybe, I don't know. I've seen a few cases worth. And I did see a picture from, man, I can't remember who it was on MREinfo.com. When we were really talking about these, he came up with a picture somewhere in the snow, military vehicles, and there were cases of these. But I have seen where they made the cases for these, but they put meal cold weathers in the cases. So they didn't actually have food packet cold weathers in them. They had meal cold weathers in them. As far as the difference between the two, as far as, you know, the 2004 era like this, where it would have just said meal cold weather instead of food packet cold weather, I don't know that there's a difference, really. I think it was just a nomenclature difference. instead of calling it a food packet cold weather, because they already had the food packet long range patrol. I guess maybe the meal cold weather just ran off the tongue easier. MCW sounded good. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to find out what the specifics are, but we'll see. All right, I gotta go get the meals. I'll be back. Okay. All right. Ooh. Now, I got this package from Delicious. I don't think Delicious has showed up again. It's a strange time for him, but I did wait to open his package because I know he can't make it through the week. He mentioned. I made a post. I didn't get to answer the post, but I did get to see it. Like, it popped up in my notifications, so I did get to read it. I hate to open it without him being here. Huh. Over the years, Delicious has been one of my favorite people to buy rations from internationally. Like, he has been the greatest person to deal with, hands down. If you ever get an opportunity to deal with him, if you're in this community and it's something that you interests you at all, like, 100% feedback from me. I highly recommend it. I've had packages come in that customs have gotten. I mean, that happens. That's something that if you're just getting into this, you need to know it's the risk you take. Like, you may spend $300 on a package and it shows up and it may have next to nothing in it or nothing in it. And I don't know. I don't know how they're being right now. I think their focus is more on other things, hopefully, than our food choices. And let's be honest, like, food that comes from Poland or Germany, or let's even be honest, like even Russia, is way better for us health-wise than anything you're going to get here in the United States. So shopping for that type of food over here, if you're lucky enough to even find decent food, is going to cost you an arm and a leg. And I did see where there's 4 or 5 states that are getting ready to try to outlaw a very short list of dyes and chemicals. And it wasn't even the ones that are, like, it wasn't Yellow 5, it wasn't Red Lake 40 or Red 40 Lake. It wasn't, there were a couple in there in the list that I felt like are known enough that people understand why they'd be banned. but the other ones are obscure. People aren't going to understand. We need to just go on a... If they can make the same kind of foods in other countries without the chemicals and the dyes, even Canada, like a lot of the stuff in Canada is way better than down here. Like, I don't understand why we can't adopt that system here. I really don't. Yeah, you definitely always know Delicious's package, Malta Magnum. They're always wrapped in a trash bag, which that's not what this is. I think this is just a package wrapping of sorts. And like every package that I've ever gotten from Delicious, I leave in the original box, and usually I will take and I will cut the outside like this and leave a flap to where I can flap it up and then flap it back down. I'll put a piece of tape and it stays encompassed in the black plastic. So yeah, don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Either way, just give Google their feedback. They love it. They love it. All right, let's talk about these menus. I have not looked these menus up to see what like the other components are in every menu. I want to say like each one should have a food bar of sorts, like this. This is a, what is this one? Oh, this is just an oatmeal cookie bar. But it should have some sort of cookie bar, granola bar. What's the other ones that are in there? There's granola. There's oatmeal. I can't think of the other one. I don't think shortbread's in there. Because that's more of a dessert bar. Dang it. I cannot think of it. Well, hang on. I don't have live chat on. I seen the Hello Delicious and thought that what the heck? My tripod's not staying locked for some reason. Here we go. All right, got the case beside me. Number one was chicken stew. Was it chicken stew? If I look them up, I'm afraid that I'll see what the other components are, and that'll sway my opinion. But I'm going to look them up, just so I know what all the menus are without having to open and pick every single one of them out. I know there's a spaghetti. I don't want spaghetti. Beef stew. It's between beef stew, sweet and sour pork. Is that what it was? Sweet and sour pork. And the other one was just on the tip of my tongue. It's between beef stew, sweet and sour pork, and chicken a la king. Duh. I think that's the three that are speaking to my palate right now. And I think any one of those would be a good choice, to be honest. Alright. Let's see. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Wait. No, that's MREs. What am I doing? Surely you got them on the MRE info. I thought that menu list was up there. Let's just go to MRE info. Then go down to LRPs. Oop. Well, there's ration cold weathers, first strike rations, other current operational rations. Is that what it's under? HDRs, totems, food packet long range patrols, Alright, let's go to food packet long range patrols. It says it's not available. What? Huh. Oh, that was the official, I'll bet. Old page. This is the old menus. This looks like this is correct. Menu 1, and I don't want to look at the other components. So menu 1, chicken stew. Menu 2, beef stew. Menu 3, sweet and sour pork. Menu 4, chicken a la king. Menu 5, lasagna. Also kind of sounds good. Menu 6, spaghetti. Menu 7 is chili con carne, which also sounds good. They all sound good. Well, most of them sound good. I'm not a spaghetti fan. Not freeze dried. Not retort. Not instant meal of any kind. Homemade spaghetti, yeah, like I'm down with that. But spaghetti that comes out of a package, a pouch, a package, a freeze dried, like airtight. I'm not down with the whole. It just doesn't preserve well. The noodles always end up weird, and usually the sauce is typically like more of a mush than it is like a chunky beef sauce. I mean, I know there's chunks of beef in them too, but it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just not my thing. Some people love it though. Some people absolutely love the spaghetti. I grew up on Chef Boyardee type stuff when I was a kid. It's just, I don't know. I never really liked the spaghetti. I was more like a SpaghettiOs. I liked the SpaghettiOs. Beefaroni, that was probably my favorite. What else? Ravioli was all right. Like it would have been my second pick probably. It'd probably been beefaroni, and then spaghetti or yeah, beefaroni, ravioli, SpaghettiOs. Yeah, probably that. And then I guess if I had to, spaghetti. All right. Beef stew, sweet and sour pork, chicken a la king. So menu 2, 3, or 4. What are you guys thinking? We got a chicken and rice and a beef and rice. Yo, what's up, Blue X? Howdy, howdy. Getting ready to start up. How old is this? 1998. Really, let's just count 1999. So all of 1999, the year, because it was made at the very end of 1998. So basically 1998 doesn't even count. So be 25 years old, right? More or less. A 25-year-old ration. Hey! Delicious is here. All right. Well, let's do this real quick then, because I didn't figure you'd make it. Look there. All right. Let's open the delicious package. All right, man. Thank you so much for sending this too, dude. I mean, you don't have to do stuff like this at all. It's highly, highly appreciated. It's super fun getting to open stuff up with you guys, especially whenever it's the person that sends it gets to be in the chat and we get to like do it together. That didn't sound right. I don't know how to word that without it sounding weird. Ignore what I just said. Just ignore me for right now. All right. Uh-oh. Okay, hang on a second. I don't want to dox you even though it is a Polish address of yours on there. I'm gonna wait. Can I don't know if I can just peel that off there real quick or not. Let me see. Nope, it's not gonna happen. All right, let me just cut this real quick over here. All right, there we go. Got the address part out of the way. Whoa, look at there. That's a big old can. You know what? You sent me a can a while back before Christmas. And whenever I moved my Christmas stuff, I moved it. It was that, remember that, it was a great big can. I can't remember where I put that at exactly. Holy cow. Holy cow. I already see, like, I mean, look at that. I don't even know what to grab first. Well, let's do this first, because this is branded with Delicious's. Oh, this is a cup. What? No way. That's awesome. That is awesome, dude. And it's got stuff in it too. But this coffee cup, you know me with the coffee cups, like especially when they're white inside like this, because it shows the coffee and stuff when I dump it in, which is important when you're on camera. You know that you do this stuff too. So look at that. That's his logo for his channel. Again, like I said in the very beginning, go subscribe to Delicious's channel. Links down there in my description. Highly, highly recommend. I couldn't remember. It's, I can't say enough, really. Not just being like a kiss butt or anything. Like, I seriously consider Peter a friend. Like, I feel like we've made a friendship over the years. If I ever make it over to Poland, I'm certainly going to come and see him. Like, there's no doubt about it. I don't think Poland's very big, so wherever I would happen to be over there, main reason I'd probably go over there would be to visit. So, because I'd like to go to Germany too. I'd like to go over there and visit with Housel, and which, I mean, I want to go to Germany anyway. So, what? I just got a picture from Trucker. You got a day off tomorrow, so you guys are going to climb a mountain or something. Can I show the picture? Which, I mean, both of you guys got YouTube channels, so yeah, I can do that. Look, there's Trucker and Smitty. They look happy. They look happy right now. Hey, what's up, Miss Marilyn? Sorry, Delicious, I got sidetracked there with the message that came through. Let's see what's in this amazing coffee cup. Matches. To start with. Wait, there's probably a letter in here. Hang on a second. He always puts a letter in to where it explains. Yep, there it is. Everything that's in the box. Let's do this, because I know I'd like it'll make the most sense that way. All right. Hello, my friend. Hello, friend. Want to send you my new mug. Amazing. Amazing. I need to get some stuff like that made up myself. Let's see. Use it during your live streams. It should be It should be. I'll never put that in a dishwasher. I'll just hand wash it. I always hand wash my mugs right after I use them. So inside the mug, you have something. What should perfectly fit with your smokes collection. The contents date from the 1970s to the 80s. So let's go ahead and check that out. I don't think. Yep, no more information about what's in the cup other than these are from the 70s and 80s. Let's see, it says 1 Water Street, Brooklyn. What? These are American? That's got an American phone number on it. The River Cafe. Yeah, I collect matches as well. I know I'm weird, but I've been collecting matches ever since I started collecting smokes out of military rations. So, Encore Sales out of New York. And a lot of times, like old matchbooks, I don't care what matchbooks they are. I don't know, the vintage feel to most of them. The old ones, there's just something cool about them. I want to start a stack over here. Hang on, we can do it this way. Well, we can do it this way. There we go. All right, next we have, it's like a goose in front of a castle on like a mountain. And I'm not even I was going to say I wasn't going to try to pronounce it, but here I go trying to pronounce it. Yep, I can't pronounce it. Is that supposed to be, that's probably supposed to be a P, right? Or is it that a D? Anybody got any idea how to pronounce that? Plaza 5-6244. Encore Sales out of New York again. Oh, here we go. La Perigord? Perigord? La Perigord. Le Perigord. Lunch, dinner, private dining rooms available. Closed on Sundays. The staples seen better days. But the matches are in great shape, and the strikers in great shape. Those would certainly still work. Oh, there we go. 52nd Street and 1st Avenue. That's not far from where I stayed. Not far at all. Would have been 10 streets uptown and 6 streets over. Well, 6 avenues over. I was on 42nd and 7th. Next, a really cool, like, shield. Oh, here we go. Oh, these are French. Right? Yep. That is so cool. Oh, are these wooden ones? These are really thick cardboard ones. Reserve de... Not going to try to pronounce that because I don't speak French. Alexandria restaurant. Looks like... Where is this at? Whoa, there's some wooden ones. Look at that. That's so cool. Is that like a bottle of liquor? Or at first I thought it was a ketchup bottle. Or it's like a soda bottle maybe? What does that say on there? Huh. It's Alexandria. Cecil 104202 Alexandria. And this is certainly a cool wooden pack. I wonder if these are German. Because those look like the German matches. Look at that. Borzen. That also kind of sounds German. Super cool. These feel like they're wooden as well. These are German, right? Dutch, German. Definitely looks like German. Restaurant. It's a cool looking old building. And yep, look at that. Whoa. Double stack of them. Black with like a yellowish golden top. That's so cool. So cool. I love vintage advertising from other countries like this. So cool. Gimbelli, 50th, I'm assuming 50th anniversary. Strike on back. Encore Sales out of New York again. Mercurio, West 53rd West 53rd Street. Huh. 53rd or 53 West. Okay, it's 53 West 53rd Street. And there's their old phone number. So these predate area codes? Is that what that means? Because none of them have area codes on them. Or maybe New York had all one area code at that time. Tavern on the Green. Usually the insides have cool stuff too. Central Park at West 67th Street. That is really near Trump Plaza, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive. Again, look, no area code. 873-3200. Huh. So that's the only thing I can think is it predates the area codes. 175 air-conditioned rooms at the Grand Plaza Hotel in, let's see, Manheim Road, Rosemont, Illinois. Just so of Higgins Road, south. Okay, I'm going to assume that means south of Higgins Road. Some white 3-stack matches in there, triple stack. So these are like high-end matches. Fancy. 175 air-conditioned rooms. Courtesy bus to O'Hare Airport. So, yep, definitely Illinois. Around Chicago. Cocktail lounge. Entertainment nightly. Every night they got entertainment. Dining room, coffee shop, meeting rooms, and a banquet facility that holds up to 500. Interesting. That looks like that place in Australia, doesn't it? I can't remember what it's called. Dan will be mad at me for not knowing it. It's called the chat knows. Surely the chat knows. A member of P&O Group. Sutcliffe Heathrow. Sutcliffe Heathrow. The ambassadors of good catering. Oh, look at those. Those are special. Green tips. Who made these? Bryant and May something. Interesting. Love the green tips. Very different. The Capri. Marin Pizza. Stockholm. So this is German. Are those wooden? Maybe wooden. Amoros. So cool. I can't read everything that's on there, but you guys can see it. Telephone number 08-62-3132. It's so weird seeing the oh, about missed that. What is that? Oh, it's like a pizzeria guy, like a chef with it's like the pizza chef hat. Like a Chef Boyardee hat. That's what I think of when I see those hats. French cuisine. Some gray tips. Trail Creek Village, Ketchum, Idaho. And these came all the way back over here to the U.S. from Poland. How crazy is that? French cuisine. So cool. Leving Restaurant. Ooh, blue tip. What's up?
Just making sure I gave him enough blood.
Our specialties: mueslis and fresh mussels. Mussels and fresh fish. Fine French and Belgian cooking. Open every day. 11H30-15. I have no idea what that means. That's very different than the way we use a clock. 6 Rue Jordan 1060 something. Fruits. I have no idea. French. Lots of French. Cool stuff, though. Here, let's do this side. I think this one might have had something cooler on this side, too. Yeah, this side looks better. All right, got 2 more in here. Free parking. Los Pocos Trio. Los Pocos Trio. Casa Camarago? I can't pronounce that either. Mexican food, steaks, cocktails. Palm Canyon Drive, Palm Springs, California. There's your phone number. Again, no zip code. Or no area code, I mean. This probably predates zip codes, too. One more. Got to be German. He's got to be German. I don't know why. Maybe not. Maybe they're French. Pretty blue, though. The French ones do tend to go with blue. Lay something. Yep. Not even going to try. It's a restaurant, though. And we got... Oh, these are wooden. These are wooden. Wooden matches. Red phosphate tips. Super cool. All right. Dude, that is awesome. All right, hold on. I think I'm a little bit out of frame there. I still ain't got him in the frame. There we go. And there's all kinds of smokes in here. What's this? Okay. That's going right there. Oh, cool. It's got the his it's this delicious MRE right there in the YouTube symbol. There we go. All right, let's see what this can is. Food. This is a Airpole can, which is the one that makes the military rations. It's a relatively new dish. It's some kind of pork luncheon meat that contains pork cheeks, he says, which I think, the way they say pork cheeks to us, I think that's bacon. I think it's like pork butt. I could be wrong, but I think that's what that kind of like lost in translation is. He said, don't keep this long. The best by date is approaching. Should taste well cold, but you can also try to warm it up. Well, we're going to have a huge meal tonight. So next week, this is going to get... I'm all right, so 100% this is getting eaten next week. And I'll come up with some other stuff that we've got, and we'll do a food taste test next week. Okay. There's also, food-wise, the green snack bag is also from Airpole. It says Food Force. Something he's never tried. It's peanuts with honey and cinnamon. That sounds interesting. And this looks like something that's probably going to end up in the military rations. It probably won't say Food Force on it, but it'll have a sticker similar to that. Might be a little bit darker green package. Might be the same. Yeah, there's no English on there. Well, peanuts 65, 60. Does that say 85? 65 or 85%? What else is in here? He said peanuts and what? And honey. And cinnamon. Huh. Wonder why it's only 65% peanuts. There's got to be something else in here, too. Nothing. I don't see any other big percentages. Oh, up here, maybe? I don't know. That's going to be cool, too. I mean, it just sounds good. And, let's see. This is The big bag is a Ukrainian bread chip. The flavor is I have no idea. I don't Kolodet Koronum. Kolodet Koronum is known in Poland as this, or cold legs, or Gallert, is a dish made of pork feet, knuckles, and a kind of savory jelly with meat flakes. Additional flavor added is horseradish. These chips don't taste like the real dish, but they remain it quite well. So they must like be similar to what the real dish is supposed to be like. Those look interesting. It's like some sort of... Well, they're hard. Real hard. Good Lord. Okay. Well, not as hard as I thought. Maybe some are harder than others. But look at this. It's like a cube of like meat, little garnish or parsley or something going on right there. That's interesting. I'm going to have to look that up and see what exactly that's all about. Okay, what else we got here? We also have candy from the new Polish freeze-dried ration. Lemon something in there. It's lemon flavor. All right, I'm going to try all that together next week. All that's getting eaten together. Very cool. And then we've also obviously got a huge stack of smokes here. Let's, I don't know how to line them up with this list here. Okay, number one, he's got the Camels, which are these right here. And of course, they have some of the most disgusting packaging that you could ever hope to see. I mean, look at that. Good Lord. Here, let's just do that. There we go. Got a pack of Polish Camels. Oh, let's set those right there. Polish Camels. Number two are, yeah, right here. That's what I thought. Pall Malls, and these, okay. This is the regular version, made in Poland. Said he doesn't know much about the quality. I'm interested to see if the Polish version had the same, like, that urea flavor that all other Camels that I've ever tried have had. Number two are the Pall Malls, made in the EU, bought in Austria. He was in a... He said, I was in Vienna some weeks ago and just bought a pack of red Pall Mall. So these are Pall Mall Reds from Austria. Dude, that is amazing. The fact that I get to try these, and then I get to keep the packaging after too. And these will stay. I'll have a really cool cabinet with international display. And I'm going to save at least one in every pack. Probably, I should save two in every pack. Okay, number three are Philip Morris. Right here. Ooh, those are really light. Really light. These are from Georgia. He said, of course, not the United States, Georgia. I wonder what the picture may mean. Probably your little friend, he said. That's funny. You know, that's a good observation, I will say. That's a possibility of what they mean by that. And these came from Georgia. So, he was over in Georgia as well. Doing some traveling. All right, what next are these ones? Nope, these ones right here. Let's see. These are Sobrain, probably a local Georgian brand, but produced by an international company. What is that? Oh, it's a trachea. I was like, what is that? Okay, that's what it is. It says Sobrain London. Also says rich up here. We're not allowed to have flavors on in well, Ohio, the state of Ohio is not allowed to have flavored anything anymore. It's kind of crazy. He said, I wanted to send you a Polish brand. They all have disappeared from the market, replaced by international brands. But in a small shop, he found these Mockney. Let's see. Hang on, let me find my place. Found... Where did I... International brands, but a small shop found. Mockney means strong. That means strong. This brand has been on the market since the 50s. This version, like these right here, has been in the market since the 90s. Of course, this pack is fresh, but they've always been low quality cigarettes and probably really strong. Kind of a brain shaker. So be careful, he says. That's they don't even have a cellophane on them, y'all. Like, I don't know that I've seen a pack without any type of wrapping around it. That's it. They put the tax stamp right on the top of the aluminum flap, and it doesn't have any type of wrapping around it. That's interesting. They done that to save on cost, I assume. That's awesome. It's cool because it's an added layer of interesting that they went as far as to not put a wrapping on it. And last but not least, we have this is the last Polish brand which remains. Its remained is Jan 3 Sobieski, named after a famous Polish king from the 17th century. Mostly famous by protecting Europe from the Turkish invasion in the Battle of Vienna in 1683. So this is named after a Polish leader that protected the UK from that Turkish invasion back in 1683. Sorry, I think that's what I said the first time. 1683, right here. Dude, you really hooked me up with the information on all that, and I will keep this information to remind myself to talk about that whenever I try. I don't know, man. You got so much variety here. You know, I look forward to getting to smoke one of these almost every time, which I've been trying not to smoke them because I don't want to smoke them all up. But and I've got the Philip Morris up there too. But these last ones that he sent me are freaking amazing. These probably some of the best cigarettes I've had, maybe ever. And the other Pall Malls are really good too. Okay, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot of interesting, awesome stuff, man. We got to pick one out for tonight. You know what? I'm going with these. I'm going with these. Said the super cheap brand should be super strong. They're definitely going to be non-filters, I think. Maybe not. I'd say they are. I'd say those are non-filters. So those are going to get tried tonight, for sure. I'll never get all this stuff for you, this is staying out. This is staying out. Which means I need to find a place for the matches, because they're not going back in the mug. Dude, thank you for all the awesome, amazing collectible stuff, and obviously the experience of getting to try something that I would never be able to get my hands on if it weren't for you. Delicious really hooked me up here. It's time for me to repay the favor. Like, it's way past time for me to repay the favor. I've got to figure out a really thoughtful and interesting package to go back. And And I think some of these LRPs was probably got his name on them. All right. Put my letter right here. And I'm just going to set this off to the side right here for now. Again, hang on. Dude, thank you so much. The mug is amazing. You gotta click the link down in my description. Leave the stream. Go subscribe to Delicious right now. And then you can come back. Thumbs up or down. Don't forget that. All right, let's get a... I see Chicken a la King a lot in the chat. Sweet and sour pork's really kind of calling my name, though. Ooh. Beef stew sounded good, too. I think... LC says to go with the pork. I don't know, the Chicken a la King is also super interesting just because, like, that's such an infamous menu that there's really very few ways that you can try that menu safely. And it should be just as fresh. Well, this version was going to be way better than anything you could have gotten out of an MRE. Even when it was brand new, super fresh. Chicken a la King wouldn't have been great, right off. Just if you got an MRE that was a month old, the Chicken a la King and the retort pouch is still going to be like, the noodles are going to be squishy, and I don't know. There's a lot of variation in the Chicken a la King menu itself, in the variation in where it was cooked or I guess which company made it. Because I have had Chicken a la Kings, like, if you put them, both of them in front of me in two bowls, I wouldn't tell you they were the same dish. Like, they were so different. All right, let me pull the case open, because I haven't got to that yet. There we go. Leave this set up here just so there's something cool on the screen. All right. Let's pull it open. So it's come down to being between these two. All right, hang on, be right back. Sorry, I had to get some nasal spray. Every time I stand over here and do this, I was nice and clear earlier when I was outside, and now I'm clogged up. Hopefully by the time I get done opening one of these, I'll be clear enough that I'll be able to taste it. So, hopefully. Let me put this back. Okay. I think I reviewed one of these food pack of cold weathers, it seems like. I need to go back and look on my channel. I don't remember doing it, but it seems like I have a vague memory of doing it. Good Lord. What is going on here? Chicken and rice. Don't know where that came from. Whew, I can't breathe. There we go. It's starting to clear up a little bit. All right. I would say either one of these is going to be a good pick, and they both seem to be on the thicker side. This has got something that feels kind of weird on the outside right here, like kind of feels like the bag that holds the chow mein noodles. It's like crispity, crunchity type of bag. This one kind of feels that way too. That's weird. Huh. I don't know what that would be. Anyway. This one's pretty thick too, honestly. There's a couple of them that are thin. I think the spaghetti one was kind of thin. And what other menu was... There was another one that was kind of thin. But these two feel like they're more substantial. Let's go with... I kind of want to go with the chicken a la king. But the sweet and sour pork's calling my name. So... you know what? We'll get to the chicken a la king. It's not like I don't want to. It'll end up getting done on a live stream. Let's do the sweet and sour pork. That's what I'm feeling right now tonight. Always cut it from the back. Anytime I got a real nice example of a vintage piece of packaging like this, I always try to save as much of the packaging as I can. It's kind of become a problem. I've saved so much packaging over the years. I really need to, like, share some of it with people that will appreciate it like I do. Because I have doubles of a lot of stuff, triples of stuff. And the stuff that I keep is always in the best condition possible. Just like this bag right here is going to be. Go. All right, let's stick my nose in there. It smells just like old plastic. It does kind of have a little bit of a vintage smell to it, which means that the plastic has started to break down some. That's where that smell comes from. And I've just recently been learning about forever plastics and stuff. The forever chemicals, forever chemicals that are in plastic that passes into, I don't know. I hope that this stuff doesn't have that type of stuff going on, but I mean, who knows? All right, so what I was feeling on the outside right there on both of them is this, the accessory pack. "341st day of 1998. And we know that this was packed the day before New Year's Eve, December of 1998. What else we got here? We got a package of crackers that's probably broken. 327th day, all at the end of the year. And that's pretty much like the consensus on all these 98s that I've seen everybody have over the years. When Steve's done them, when other people have done them, like BTemple and other folks that are on YouTube, that open them up on YouTube, they have pretty much all that I've seen have been in 1998. The very end, like December of 1998. Is the first thing that you see when you open that is this right here, which is like the gem of the package. One of the gems. Some of these have two bars like this in them, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong about that, but it seems like that might be the case. Some like weird printing happened on this one, off print. I think it was just supposed to be this, the 339th day of 98. And this is a bran flake bar. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. It's a bran flake bar. They seem like they're hard as a rock, but they really aren't. And it says the bran flakes cereal bar may be crumbled and rehydrated with a small amount of water. And usually you take a little creamer and add to that and have like a little slurry sludge of oatmeal cereal type setup, bran cereal. Here's our spoon that's already open. That's happens, I guess. Partially biodegradable, classic old MRE spoon there. That would have been like the, let's see, like the 6th year of use. What's this? Beverage base powdered apple cider. I have never had it like this before. Wow, that's a lot of powder. Holy cow. And it makes 10 ounces. Hot or cold. I think we're going to, I don't know, we'll see. We might do hot. Huh. Yeah, the apple ciders that I usually see, I think I got one right here. Yeah, right here. Are like this. And this would be the size too. That's only 21 grams, as you can see. And that's 50 grams. That's 2.5 of these. That's a crazy amount of powder. And this makes 8 ounces, I believe. Pretty sure. It says 6 to 8. So yeah, it makes 8. This stuff right here, by the way, the military put these in military rations, but you can also buy these at the Dollar Tree. So you get a box of 4 of them for, now it's $1.25. Nothing's a dollar at the Dollar Tree anymore. All right, what else is in here? We got, what's this? Peanut butter. Old school peanut butter with the 1.5 ounces of the peanut butter. Actually doesn't really feel like it needs kneaded up very much. Yeah, a little bit, but just a little bit at the top right there. All right. I wonder how many calories is in this. I'd like to get a calorie count if possible. And maybe last but not least, here. Yep, that's it. We got our main. Which just says sweet and sour pork, cooked, dehydrated, which we know this is freeze-dried. Not dehydrated. Add 12 to 14 ounces of hot water, approximately half a canteen cup, to the mixing bag. Stir, wait approximately 5 minutes. Hot water may be added in stages to keep the food hot, which I do highly recommend adding your hot water in stages. That way when you're ready to eat it, it's actually hot. Oregon freeze-dried incorporated out of Oregon, Albany, Oregon. And there are no nutrition facts on this. Now, look at that list of ingredients. That's an essay. Cooked pork, pineapple and light syrup, green peppers, vinegar, onions, red peppers, brown sugar, modified cornstarch. I wish they would not use that. Chicken base, chicken including natural chicken juices, salt, chicken fat, sugar, maltodextrin, blah, 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 blah. Where's the parentheses end? Holy cow. They start there. Where do they end? Here. Then we go Worcestershire sauce and parentheses. Where do they end? Good Lord. Molasses, corn syrup. There. And then soy sauce. And there's everything in the soy sauce. That's why the list is so ridiculously long. Then we got corn oil, salt, sesame, soybean oil, flavor enhancer. What's a flavor enhancer? Is that Uncle Roger says it all the time. The flavor enhancer. Anyway, garlic powder, spices, rice is pre-cooked rice. MSG, yeah, MSG, Uncle Roger. MSG. Dang it. I don't know what the calorie count on this would be. I mean, the best we could do is guess, really. We got a 6.1 ounce. It's 173 grams. If I was to guess, I would say what? Maybe 500 calories? What would you guys say? Roughly 500? 450? 500? I do believe this would be a 2-serving size in a standard Mountain House, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we got an accessory packet to open, too. Let's see what's in here. Feels like about nothing. MSG. It's so bad for you. I don't know if MSG is all that bad for you, really. I mean, I've heard that over the... I think the genetically modified organisms and the genetically modified products that are in everything nowadays is way worse for you than MSG ever thought about being. And I've seen myself a lot of information and talk about MSG, and my consensus is it's not really that bad for you. Pretty much, I mean, no worse for you than iodized salt. All right, in here we have our standard double issue, United States issued butt rations, or paper towels, or napkins, but they double you up just in case this has to last you longer than a single meal does. So, 16 hours, you're going to need a couple, you're going to need to take care of business a couple times. And then we also have the red Taster's Choice that honestly feels like it could possibly be okay. Yeah, I mean, that feels like it might be all right. We also have our cream substitute, dry non-dairy for coffee or tea. Obviously 4 grams net. We've got our 4 grams of Domino sugar. Not enough sugar in my opinion. I like the 6-gram pouches better. And we got our iodized salt. They give you the same amount of salt as they do sugar, which, again, doesn't make sense. But this is made by Diamond Crystal Specialty Foods Incorporated out of Wilmington, Massachusetts. 01887. All right. And, ooh, nope. Yep, it's stuck together. The gum. It's stuck. Miscut packaging. But it's like all the gum from like 1995, 96 to 2002. If you get the green kind like this, it's always like funny looking like this. See? Discolored. This is even stuck together. Again, it's stuck in. I can't move it. There we go. It was stuck together on the ends too, but I don't know if I remember. I'll actually try that. And last but not least, we've got our really nice shiny pack of matches made by, of course, D.D. Bean and Sons. These ones are black matches with white tips. Strike on back. There they go. I like these old accessory packets. These old bags are way nicer than the clear ones. I don't know. They're just, I like them a lot better. You could reuse this. You could put all kinds of stuff in there. You put your pack of smokes in there. Look. I mean, you can put a bigger pack in there. You can probably put a pack of 100s in there. Actually, let's see. I'm kind of curious. If I was smoking 100s back in the day and in the service, could I use this to keep my smokes dry? I could. Absolutely. Now, it's not going to survive the submerging test, but like you fold it up like that right there, stick it in your helmet, stick it in your pocket, whatever, and it's going to keep your smokes dry. It's going to keep condensation and stuff from getting to them. Yeah, super good way. It's just a nice bag in general. Like, seriously, I like these types of accessory packets. I usually keep the bags. Like this empty bag right here, I'll put it in here. I'll take the stuff from right there, like the salt and napkins, and I'll put them in the accessory bag. Put the matches in there too. It's a good looking pack of matches, really nice looking. Okay, let me throw this Chicken a la King back, and I gotta get some water going. It's taken the cat almost the entire, well, not an entire week, but today's the first day I seen the cat on the cat tree that I built on a live stream the other day. Okay, water-wise, we need, if I'm going to do hot water for this, which let's take a look at this coffee real quick to see if I'm going to be able to make this coffee or not. Yeah, probably not. Huh? You know, it's got some of that stuff going on in there, but you know what? I'm going to make it anyways because it does not look that bad. Yep, I'm going to make that. All right, so we need 6 or 7 ounces for that. We need 10 ounces for that. We need, I'm going to make half of this. I'm literally going to cut it right in half and make half of this because there's no way I can eat all that. What's this called for? 12 to 14 ounces, so 6 to 7 ounces. We're going to call that 8 to 9 plus 8, that'll be 16. We need at least 26 ounces. So I think I'm going to make up 30 ounces. All right, let me go get some water boiling and I'll be right back. 30 ounces. water. Alright, so I can only make, my measuring cup is 16 ounces. So I can only make 16 ounces at a time. So we will get this going. I'll get it ready right now. And then the leftover water from the 16 ounces, this is only going to take like 7 to 8 ounces. And let's see, that takes 7 to 8. I got 16. That's going to leave. That'll leave enough to do this. If I just do the 7 for this, I'd leave 9 ounces for this. Yeah, and then I can add a little bit more if I need to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them crackers and peanut butter. Huh, I've misplaced my tray. What the heck? Oh. There it is. I stuck it back there the other night when I put the cat tree here. I had to change everything around because of the cat tree. Everything's different now. Okay. I need to go wash this cup out real quick. Do that in just a second. I'm gonna make this in this cup. It's like strawberries or something. I had freeze-dried strawberries last time. I must have had, maybe I did. It's the Bran Flake Bar crackers, peanut butter, and let me go rinse this cup out real quick. Hopefully the hot water, well, you know what, let me get this ready first. What the heck? I ain't never seen that before. It's almost like, huh. That's kind of weird. This must have just been like an extra little flap up there or something that wasn't supposed to be there. So I can figure. No, it's going to have to be down below this double line here. Alright, let's take the razor blade to it. Should hear a really nice release on the vacuum seal because this is so packaged well, so well packaged. There we go. Absolutely no smell, which is exactly what you want to encounter when opening a vintage freeze-dried anything. There we go. That was one package. Bag number 2. And bag number 3. Very well packaged, I must say. Okay. So, I'm going to try my best to pinch this off and half it. I don't know if I want to use this or just do it in a bowl. Bowl probably hold heat better. Well, yeah, I think a bowl would hold heat better. Oh. Thinking about the Canadians got me thinking about BTemple. Ain't seen him in a while, but go subscribe to his channel as well. Super awesome Canadian guy. It's got all kinds of ration videos. Link in my description of this and every other video that I do. Yeah, we can leave that in there. Alright, that's probably about half of it, I think. I don't know. Alright. So I'm certainly going to get 2 meals out of this. There's no doubt about that. Alright, where am I going to put this for now? Because I'm going to use this to cover the top of that bowl. That's set right there. I need like a bread tie or something. Ooh. This ought to work. Maybe that's what this was intended for. Probably not, but... Nice. Perfect. All right. Dog's dreaming. know what she was chasing. But she was chasing something. She was doing that. Woof, woof. All right, let me go get that water. I gotta rinse this. Okay. All right, I'm at 16. I'm going to take this down. Is that? There we go. All right. So far, that's only 4 freaking ounces. That's insanity. All right, nice little lid. No tear notch on the apple cider. This is a big old thing of apple cider too, by the way. That's one thing you won't see in the milk cold weathers is like drinks like this. I knew it was a little chunky, but I think it's supposed to be like that. I think the chunky stuff is like the apple flavoring or the cinnamon flavoring. That's pretty much all I got was the chunks, so let's see. It's probably the apple. It's really tart and cinnamony. That tastes weird. Really, really sour. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, those little individual nodules in there are a concentrate, an apple concentrate or something. I want to try just the dust. Yeah, that's the sweet part. That's got more of the like cider flavor to it. All right, what do we got here? We got 12 ounces. That's almost perfect. I don't know if this can take any more or not. Yeah, we'll give it some more. All right, let me go get some water heated up for the coffee. Okay. Doing the freeze-dried meals like this just takes a little bit more effort, I guess. Back and forth with the water and stuff. Happen to leave you guys hanging. Let's check out the crackers real quick, like. Good. Nice release of the vacuum there, air rushing in to give it some life, fluffiness back to the package. Wow, I thought these were going to be demolished. They are not. They smell. They got that really strong smell of the late '90s crackers. Yeah. There's just something different about them. I don't know what, like, hardcore change to the ingredients list that they did in the late '90s. I think it started happening about 98, 99. Actually, I guess it would have been right around the time of these. Might have been, because 97 was the whenever they switched and just had 18 menus? Yeah, 20 menus, sorry. 97 was 20 menus. The crackers hadn't changed, I don't think, by then. These might be different crackers altogether that they eventually adopted into MREs. I don't know. I'd like to know. TBHQ added as an antioxidant. So enriched wheat flour, or no, just enriched flour, wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, mono something trait, riboflavin, vegetable shortening. I think that's what I'm smelling is the vegetable shortening with TBHQ, whatever that is. Yeast, calcium carbonate, salt, sodium bicarbonate, extract of malted barley, and corn. Huh. I guess I didn't even bother talking about the fact that Warnick was the only one that made the 1998 long-range patrols. They had the contract solely for themselves. All right, go ahead and get this coffee in here. Cup's a little wet. Yeah, coffee's either molded or caffeine has started to separate. I think it's mold. Pretty sure it's dry mold. Got our little packet of sugar. And we're not going to use all of our creamer. We're going to save a little bit for the bran flake bar. I probably got other creamers, honestly. Just don't feel like looking for them, digging them out. All right, that's good. Good enough. All right, back with the water. Ooh. Package is hot. This cup is hot. All right. Switch hands here. I started talking quiet because of Stella all of a sudden. Keep dripping water all over the place. Let's see if our main needs any more water. I don't know. Much more water and it's going to get pretty runny. I'll add a little bit. Just a little bit. That's it. Okay. Coffee needs stirred. Yeah, I'm not doing it with that spoon. Here we go. MRE spoon. Let's do this one first. Probably should have made the apple cider cold since I was going to have hot coffee, but I don't know. I like my apple cider hot. Peanut butter. Yeah, I'm not sure about the coffee. Yeah, it's probably not really good for most people. Probably wouldn't want to consume that. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much, but you know, I don't know what that's doing, like long term, what could be in this, and I'm going to pay close attention over the next few days to whether or not that could possibly create some sort of change in my physical well-being. I don't think it will, but it's possible, I guess. In the Delicious cup, usually we're using the Tim Tam cup because the awesome cup Dan sent, and Trucker sent me a Tim Tam cup. I need to get that cup out. It's a metal cup. It's a little harder to use doing stuff like this. Is the reason you don't see it show up. And then I got the crazy cat guy cup that my old lady got me. She thinks I'm a crazy cat guy, I guess. And this amazing bran flake bar. I'm pretty sure some of these long-range patrols some of them have 2 of these bars like this. Not 2 brand flake bars, but 2 bars in them, I think. I can't remember what menus would have 2 bars, though. I could be wrong. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. I was about ready to say, I thought that was, it looks like a 9 in person. I was like, hang on a second. Is this a 1990? Did that have a 99 component in it? Well, that's not possible because it was packaged in 98 in the case. So I don't know what I was thinking. Or I guess it took me a second to think about that. There we go. Look at that. These things, I wish they would bring these back. This has a really unique smell to it compared to other bars. This smells a lot like sugar, like it's sweet and buttery. It has a buttery, I'll tell you what this reminds me of. It smells like a cheesecake crust that my old lady makes. She takes graham crackers and a bunch of butter. I think that's all. And just mixes it all together. And this is what it smells like. It's making my mouth water. I love the brand flake bars. They might, I don't know, man. It's hard to pick a favorite when it comes to these bars. I love them all. I love the oatmeal cookie bar. I love the only one I don't like so much is the chocolate one. Like, the chocolate one's all right. And it comes in the food packet survival general purpose. But it's not my favorite. I'm not a big chocolate chip guy, though. Look at that thing. Shiny and pressed and formed into a nice rectangle of building block of food. Compressed food bar. Just absolute perfection. That is, in my opinion, food perfection. And I couldn't commend them enough on that product that they made right there. I wish you could buy those bars right there, but I've never found anything even close to that flavor right there. Decided to eat the rest of the shiatsu peppers. Shiatsu. I don't know if I've ever had those before. MRE info may have the dirt on the LRP contents. It does, and I didn't want to look at the contents earlier because I didn't want to get swayed by the contents of certain menus, because I might have went with a different menu had I seen one came with 2 of those bars. I don't, 2 different of the compressed bars. So I didn't look at the components. I just got the menus list. But yeah, MRE info definitely does have the menus list. And I've got to share some of these LRPs with the community here. Some of you folks, like, gotta share the wealth of these things, because it's looking pretty awesome. But this should be done. It's been longer than 5 minutes. But whenever I added that water last time and I did this, there was chunks in there that were still stuck together and not mixed up, that hadn't hydrated at all. It was still crunchy. Not a huge fan of the pork in here being those little pressed and formed chunks like that. I'd much rather seen them use just shredded pork. Mountain House, like, used to be the best freeze-dried food that you could get your hands on. Nowadays, I think that there's competition that might even blow them out of the water, to be honest. Like, when you compare price-wise, though, Mountain House reliability and across the board is probably still, it's probably still up there being one of the best. It is one of the best, but I think there's better out there. You pay a little bit more money for them, but the servings are bigger and the calorie counts are bigger and stuff, so it kind of equals out. All right, my mouth is literally watering for sweet and sour pork right now. It's a little bit runny, to be honest, like a little bit. If I mix it up, it's not, but it starts to separate pretty quickly if you just let it settle. A lot of pineapple in there. That's what that is, I believe. Or no, that might be onion. That's got to be pineapple. That's got to be pineapple, right? Yeah. That was a chunk that wasn't mixed up. All right, here we go. I'm going for a big bite. Hang on, let me smell it real quick. It smells like kind of weirdly porky. Not appetizing at all. It does not smell good. I smell kind of an off-putting pork scent, and then I can smell kind of like a mix between a chicken and pineapple scent. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird. All right, here we go. Down the hatch. So I'd say I would say the pork is as rehydrated as it's going to get, but it's still kind of weirdly chewy. The first flavor that hit my mouth, like the first flavor I'm tasting, is the peppers, which is not what I expected. Green pepper. Definitely the first flavor. And it's very juicy, pineapple juicy. I didn't try the cracker on its own. I can do that in a minute. But we're going to use it like a dip here. So mixing the cracker in with it changes everything. These crackers have a lot of that malted barley come through, especially when you mix it with the sweet and sour pork. It is making me constantly want to go back for another bite. It's not thirst-provoking at all. It's actually kind of the opposite. It's kind of quenching because of that sweetness and juiciness of the pineapple kind of dominating. The green pepper flavor is pretty dominant throughout the entire eating experience, which I don't mind. I kind of like that. There's well over half a pound of food here still. Yeah, that's more than 8 ounces in weight. Oh, the water was definitely hot enough. It's fully rehydrated. The water was hotter than what you think, because whenever I put it in the microwave like that, it doesn't look like it's boiling hot, which I do find weird. Just like some bubbles will be stuck to the inside of the measuring cup, but it was hot. It's still hot. I mean, it's not burn you hot, but I mean, it's sat here for a while too. The MSG is making me want more. You're probably right. I think that's kind of its whole goal, isn't it? The MSG. It does make me just want to keep going back for more. It's pretty good. The pork, like I said, it's a little chewy, which I think could be expected with freeze-dried pork. It's definitely easy to eat. I know water can boil over. I mean, I've had it do that. Filling the measuring cup up about 3/4 of the way. But I haven't had it do it in a long time, which is kind of weird because I've been boiling it longer. I've been putting it in there for longer amounts of time. Used to be I'd do 2 minutes and 30 seconds on like 12 ounces, and that'd be plenty hot, roll and boil. And on that 16 ounces, I just did 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And I mean, it was boiling hot, but I don't know how much longer I could have put it in there without it boiling over. Pre-branded ones. I'm not sure I know what the pre-branded ones are. Mountain House is pretty good. I mean, they're the ones that have nailed this technology down from the very get-go. You know, they were really the first large manufacturer to do it. Just working with the federal government and Natick, really. I've tried to dig into the whole freeze-dried aspect. How long it's been around? Where did it come from? Who came up with it? And the stories I've read, one of the stories was like it came from being like Antarctic temperatures and then putting food out and it getting extremely cold extremely fast and freeze drying that way. And then they realized that was a great way to preserve food. Yeah, you know, Mountain House has changed it up a good bit in the past 2-3 years. One thing I wish they would have never gotten rid of was the chicken and mashed potatoes, which they did bring back temporarily. It's gone again. I can't, or if it's still around, I can't find it. I wasn't on their website anymore either. So that was kind of a silly move in my opinion. People were so outraged that they had to bring it back. Like, why would you get rid of a product that people enjoyed so much and liked so much? I don't know if it was a cost ratio thing or what. Yeah, it probably wasn't the... I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look like or taste like low-quality pork. It's just the way it's processed and pressed and formed that kind of kills it for me. They took the hash browns out of the breakfast skillet. Well, that's just dumb. I used to love those little round hash browns. I think they were round or maybe like kind of small oval shapes that were in there. Whenever I found out they were getting rid of it, spicy tuna, I bought 12 off of they were old too. They were like 2009s or 2006s. Chicken and mashed potato Mountain House. And I probably had 4 or 5 put up. So I probably got 16 chicken and mashed potato meals put up for, you know, crap hits the fan type situation. Because it's like my favorite meal that Mountain House made. Don't make anymore. I mean, they got good ones, man. Like I like the curry. I do. I like the curry. And I've been exploring some other stuff, their newer stuff to see. And I just picked up some stuff. I don't know what I've done with it. I thought it was right here somewhere. I just picked up some stuff from Cabela, some other brands to try out. And got some biscuits and gravy from my old lady to try out a I think it was, I can't remember what brand that was, but it came with 2 full biscuits, which I thought was pretty cool. There's a new egg entree that doesn't have pork in it. I don't know what that would be. Like eggs and cheese and peppers, and I think they made a wrap filling. Mountain House did. I don't know. It would have been not bacon or sausage though. I can't think of what it would be. Spicy, I agree. That's like this stuff right here. I'll bet you this is better than the sweet and sour pork that they did. They used to do the sweet and sour pork. I don't know if they still do. I don't think they do. They might have brought it back though. But I'll bet you this is better. The military versions are always better. That's just like the chicken and rice. If you can get the chicken and rice from like Epicenter or somewhere like that, it's going to have way more chicken in it than it does rice. And if you go to Walmart and buy the rice and chicken Mountain House, it's going to have way more rice than it does chicken. It's getting kind of wet. I'd almost kind of like to drain it off some. I mean, the juice ain't bad. It's just, it's pretty wet. All right. I know. I need a friggin' drink. I think I'm going to have to go just regular water. See how runny it's gotten? And I was trying to get as much liquid in each spoonful as I could to keep it evened out, but it didn't work. Later, LC. Thanks for being here. Oh, crap. Oh. Yeah, there's not much to this, really. I mean, you got your main, peanut butter and crackers, and a cereal bar. And then drinks, of course, but like that doesn't really count as the food part. So I'd like to see a cocoa beverage powder though. Peanut butter and crackers. I seen a video of a girl on YouTube, I think it was. It might have been on TikTok, I don't know. But she had just eaten her MRE. And she was licking her finger, and her finger was smoking. And I immediately thought, okay, so she has handled the element out of her flameless ration heater and got those filings on her finger and then stuck it in her mouth, of all places. And that's why it's doing that. And a lot of people in the comments were, well, not a lot, but a few people, excuse me, daggone it, commented the same thing. It was kind of funny and weird. I don't know. If I could find it, I'll pull it up and show you guys, just because it was just maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about what was going on there, but that's what it looked like to me. I don't know. It was weird. That's good peanut butter. It's really nice and smooth, peanutty. You can just tell it. I mean, it's not that crappy peanut butter that the grocery stores carry here in America. This is just all natural peanut butter. There's not much to it. A little bit of salt. There's a little bit of sweetness to it. So they must have added a little bit of sugar. A little bit of oil that's already, I mean, that's just inherently in there. And the malted barley in these crackers mixed with the peanut butter, they really enhance each other. Sugar. Second ingredient. Huh. It don't taste that sweet. I will say that this main dish, if you guys have ever smelled pork that's kind of like went off and it's like not good, or it's been left setting out for a day or something, that's what that smells like. It's off-putting. I can smell it up here, you know, and I'm 3-4 feet away from it, and I can smell it. I don't like it. It wasn't that way when I was eating it. But I wasn't smelling it. I was just eating it. It doesn't smell the same way it tastes. And I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Or let me rephrase that. It doesn't make any sense at all. Things usually taste the way they smell. All right, I'm going to use the coffee to wash down that peanut butter and crackers. Try to get that ring off the delicious cup. Oh well, I'll wash it off. Here we go. Oh my gosh, that's hot. Whew. That tastes old. It's got kind of a like a musty, I wouldn't say mildewy, but definitely a musty, kind of dirty, old flavor to it. It's definitely lacking on the sugar and the creamer for my taste too. It's not horrible. It's definitely drinkable, and I will drink it. It's pretty low on the tannins, I would have to say. It doesn't really have that nice dry kind of bite to it. It's nice and hot, which is nice. Yeah, the vegetable oil, the soybean oil, the what is it that's in everything? Well, let me just go grab something, some food here, and I'll tell you within. Corn syrup. Corn syrup. It's in everything. I'm pretty sure that's what like all sodas and stuff have in them. And just about everything, really. Anything seed oil. Yeah, you're correct. It's bad. Bad for you. All right, apple cider. Oh, my goodness. the flavor on that is just outstanding. Very happily. Cinnamon, sweet. I mean, just, it tastes natural, though, which is kind of hard to do with a powder. I think it being hot really helps enhance the flavor. I think if it was cold, it wouldn't taste nowhere near as good. Yeah, with corn syrup or caffeine. Oh, you stopped eating or drinking foods with corn syrup or caffeine? I'm trying to cut sugar and corn syrup stuff like completely out of my diet. Here's the thing. Any disease or sickness, just about, now I'm not going to say 100%, but just about all of them. Cancer, diabetes, cataracts, arthritis, all that stuff is fed by sugar. Like, if you intake sugar into your body, it feeds that illness or that disease. So cutting sugar out is a great idea, and cutting down your food intake and fasting is great as well. It's not advice, it's just my personal observation. And according to a few science studies that have been done, like, they were trying to find any way possible to extend human life. The only way that they came up with to possibly extend human life was to take in less calories, less caloric intake. That was their conclusion. So, if that tells you anything. What can't grow without sugar? I mean, I know your body turns bread into sugar. Your body turns a lot of things into sugar. But I'm talking about, like, all these bad sugars and corn syrups and stuff that we're intaking into our bodies. Like, that stuff, it's not helping you. Fasting and diet is 100% the best way to, in my personal opinion, just from experience, and again, it's just a personal opinion, is the best way to kind of try to get your health back on track. God, that smells so good. I wish y'all could smell that. I really do. It's got this nice kind of like a grainy, sugary, buttery. I don't know. Makes my mouth water. It's definitely buttery. It's gritty because of the sugar in it. And then it's got a strong flavor of, like, cornflakes or Wheaties. Just raw flakes. I guess it's kind of a mix between a cornflake and a bran flake, like you would have with Raisin Bran. You definitely pick up on that flavor. I mean, obviously, it is a bran flake bar, so it should taste like that. It'd be nice to have a handful of raisins to go along with this. That's so good. Stuff breaks up pretty good, actually. Add our creamer that we saved. Couldn't do too much because I didn't save hardly any creamer. Use this water right here. I don't know if that'll be enough or not. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to add some more of the bran flake. Put just a tad too much water in it. Which means I need to just add more bran flakes to it to make it right. I hate to waste it, but I mean, it's not really wasting this. I prefer to eat it dry as like a bar. I mean, even if you crushed up the whole bar, like, I feel like you're not going to have a whole lot there, and it's going to take your whole pack of creamer too, for sure. I got to figure out how to get my fingernails to stop doing that. I started taking iron, and I don't really see that much of a difference. Maybe there is a difference. But I took it for like 2.5, 3 months, and I couldn't really tell a difference. All right, here we go. Bran flake slurry with a little creamer, a little water. Down the hatch. It don't need no sugar. It's plenty sweet already. Plenty sweet. It's kind of cold and refreshing. It's kind of like having a, I guess, like a cold granola or something. Pudding. I don't know, but that tastes fantastic. So buttery, so smooth. Too bad we can't get that. These are the smokes that Delicious said are super cheap. I think he said they'd been around for a long time too. Let me grab the paper. These are the Mockney. International brands, but a small shop I found had these. Mockney means strong. This brand's been on the market since the 50s. This version exact of this right here been around since the 90s. Of course, this is a fresh pack, but it's a low quality cigarettes. Probably really strong, so get to try a super strong Polish cigarette. Should be quite interesting. Let's see if I can do this without destroying the tax stamp. They're meant to fragment when you pull up on them like this. Oh, that's interesting. It's like a little safety mechanism. See the little circles? So that you couldn't take the tax stamp off and reuse it, I guess. I don't know how that would possibly be beneficial somehow, but that's some cheap packaging. Even the like top of it feels cheap. They ain't got really no smell, and they're filtered. I never dreamed they'd be filtered. These are tiny little cigarettes. Like, that's a regular. I mean, that's almost a flap bigger. Flap, not flat, flap. Let me flip one around for a lucky. Look at that little thing. Little teeny tiny filter on it. It says Mockney on it. All right, Lucky cigarettes engaged. Okay, let me put this pack over here with the rest of them. Next week I'm going to be trying out that Polish food that he sent, and I'll see what else I can dig out. And I might try cooking that macaroni and cheese that LC sent. That's what I to say. I had a bunch of packs of matches over here. They've all disappeared. This pack's only got 2 matches in it. I don't ever wanna feel like I'm getting that day. Take me to the place I love. And take me all the way. Take me to the place. Immediately, I like it. It has that immediate lower grade tobacco flavor of kind of a. It's a busy. It's like a really busy, dirty flavor. If that makes any sense. I've had way worse going off the first pull so far. And it does seem to be burning extremely fast. Which I kind of could tell that on the draw. That it felt like it was burning really quick. It's got kind of a... it doesn't have enough resistance on it, and I packed these pretty well, and that should have helped that problem. And that's what happens if you don't pack cigarettes and you just kind of leave them loose. I don't know, you feel like you're sucking too much air on the draw. There's not enough resistance on the draw. There's not enough resistance on these. And it is strong. It is strong. That is... It's got a... it's harsh. It's strong and harsh. Like, I can handle just strong. I can handle the strongest cigarette probably known to man. I mean, I would assume I could. Maybe I have. I don't know. But this is also very harsh. It's got a... kind of a bitter mouthfeel. kind of acidic. And yeah, it's harsh. It's kind of weird. Because as easy as it is to draw on it, it's very full, like a very full body. A lot of flavors going on here. The worst cigarette I ever had was the Japanese ones that Mickey Joe sent me years ago. I think they were Japanese, Chinese. I can't remember where they were from. I still got them sitting over there. I only smoked like 2 out of that pack. They were awful. Absolutely awful. These are probably 2 to 3 steps above those. Those, I had no desire to ever have another one. These, on the other hand, it would take like a weird special situation where I would be hankering for something this strong and this harsh. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I forgot he sent me some from Georgia. He sent me some from Austria. 2 classic, well, the one classic Poland brand, and then this brand that's been around since the early 1900s. This particular style since the 50s, or this particular exact packaging style since the 90s. I think is what he said. Look how quick! Like, it's gone. It's gone. The next hit is going to collapse the filter on it. I'll tell you, my favorite smoke, believe it or not, is one that Delicious has sent me. And it's these right here. We don't have anything in America that is on this level. The closest thing that you could get would be an American Spirit. But I don't know. It's still lacking something on this. This is like really pure, really clean. It doesn't feel like you're getting any chemicals or any weird, there's no weird aftertaste. Like, it's a really nice, clean, pure flavor. And my fingers reek from that. I can, like, to me, my fingers stink from that, which means that stunk up the area here. Try to air it out some. They got a really pleasant, kind of subtle, kind of a little bit of a floral, a little bit of sweetness to it. I would say this would probably be my favorite cigarette, honestly, that I've had. And now, I'm a Pall Mall guy through and through. Just so happens that those happen to be Pall Malls. But as far as in America, when it comes to, well, they used to be an affordable brand even, but that's not why I started smoking Pall Malls. I started smoking Pall Malls because they switched over to fire safe everything. Every cigarette had to switch their papers to fire safe. And when they done that, like, I was a Marlboro guy, period, through and through, 100%. My dad used to smoke Marlboro 25s, which was, it's a wide pack of 25 cigarettes. Soft pack of 25s is what my dad used to smoke. And I always smoked Marlboros. They were the best cigarette, like, by far. There wasn't even anything that compared to them. And then when they did the switch, they ruined them. They ruined them to this day. They're horrible. Marlboros, I like, every once in a while, I'll pick up a pack and I'll be like, God, these things suck. They're just awful. So I went on a quest when they done that, and I went through, I don't know how many brands, just trying out different brands. And I settled on these being the closest thing to what the old Marlboro used to be before they switched. This is the closest tasting thing to what Marlboro used to be. And it used to be an affordable brand too, which was kind of an added bonus, but they're not anymore. Now Pall Malls are like, well, they're more expensive than Marlboros in a lot of places. So a lot of other people must have caught on and thought the same thing. Now, I have had an exceptional palate for cigarettes for a long time. I mean, I can remember it was probably like 2003, 2002, 2003, 2004, somewhere in that era. I got my buddy that is no longer with us, Chris Westmoreland. He hung himself like be 2 years ago in October, I think. Anyway, he didn't believe me when I told him, I was like, I can tell the difference. I can tell you what cigarette is what blindfolded. I do a blindfolded test. We had I think we had 5 different brands. We had Camel Lights. We had Marlboro Light. What else did we have? We had Camel Regular and something else. And I blindfolded myself. He was sitting in the back of my car, and he lit up one of each cigarette and passed them to me in the front seat. And I'd take a hit of them, and I'd tell him what it was, and I'd pass it back to him. And I did that for every single cigarette. And at the end, he's like, I cannot believe you got all those right. I was like, dude. Honestly, I don't think it's all that hard if you have smoked those cigarettes before. And at that time, like I was kind of dancing around playing with different brands at that time anyway. So I was familiar with the different tastes of the different brands that we had on hand. So I've been doing stuff like that. How many years ago has that been? 25 years ago? No, 21, 22 years ago. Yeah, kind of crazy. So, so they did away with any type of flavoring. Now, when it comes to the Chusa asking, do they still make Camel Reds? Yes and no. So they do make different flavors, but they're not allowed to call them, well, especially they're not allowed to call them any type of flavor at all. They're not allowed to give it any flavor. They're not allowed to, not even, I don't even think they're allowed, they might not even be allowed to color code them anymore. Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand. Like, again, Ohio just outlawed, period, any flavor, any period. No flavor allowed whatsoever. They did did away with vapes and all kinds of stuff. Now, it might not be all of Ohio, but I know some of Ohio, and I think it's supposed to be adopted into all of Ohio. And I want to say by September, recreational marijuana is supposed to be legal in Ohio, which is crazy to me. Like, they're making that legal and recreational marijuana legal, but they're outlawing cigarettes. They apparently think that we're too immature to make our own decisions on simple, I guess, stuff like cigarettes, of all things. You definitely can't call a cigarette light, ultralight, full flavor, anything like that. You can't do full flavor. You can't do anything Dreamsy smokes. You're not allowed to call it a full flavor. You're not allowed to call it a medium. None of that. Yeah, that all came about the same with the same stroke as the no lights, to imply that the lights is better for you or whatever. So nobody ever thought that. I don't think nobody ever really believed that, did they? I wouldn't think they would have. I mean, every cigarette's awful for you. Those Camels with the balls in the filter, yeah, the Camel Crushes. They're still around. Camel Crushes are still around. And my buddy that was the pilot on my boat, he passed away in a car wreck about a year after I had my leg cut off. That's all he smoked was Camel Crushes, and I still have a pack of. He gave me like 2 or 3 cigarettes one day, and I threw them in my lunch bucket, and I still have 1 or 2 in that pack of the Camel Crushes that he gave me. it's kind of weird. Like he's long gone, been dead for years now, and still have those cigarettes he gave me probably 10 years ago now. Recently saw an article saying that Biden's decided to delay the ban on menthol and tobacco and vape products. Wonder why he done that. Gee, I wonder. Yeah, I believe there was an outrage from a certain community whenever they said they were going to outlaw the old menthol and the what it's dang, what brand is that? Newports. Newports. Which that piece of legislation that got all that, got the ball rolling and talking. See, just because it hasn't went federally banned yet, like a lot of places have adopted that already, and they've already done away with them. So, yeah, diet cigs. Yeah, no such thing. No such thing. That's my thing. Like, if you're gonna smoke a cigarette, smoke a cigarette. Like, why are you smoking like this, like 75% air thing, and it's doing the same amount of damage, inhaling the same chemicals, the same everything. You just, it doesn't seem like it and feel like it. I don't know. They're just as bad. They're just as bad. All right, I'm going to have one of these. I'm going to have one of these just because that little one went really quick. And, you know, I look forward to having one of these right here. And huge thanks to Delicious again for sending me that variety pack. Holy cow, man. Like, I cannot wait to get into trying like the different regional smokes that he sent from different areas, which I think he sent a couple different Pall Malls too. Was it maybe just one pack? Okay, there's Camel regulars from Poland, Pall Malls from the EU, or made in the EU. Excuse me, Philip Morris from Georgia. And see, that's the thing, like different countries, different regions, different areas, the brands that suck here might be great there. I'll tell you one thing, they ruined Lucky Strikes here. I can't believe they even brought the brand back the way they did and just absolutely stomped all over something that was such an iconic brand. If they would have just stuck to their old recipe with the Lucky Strikes, if they would have just stuck to the old Lucky Strike, the old style, and do non-filters at a reasonable price, they would have killed it. Lucky Strikes would be killing it right now. Same thing with Chesterfield. A lot of people already knew and remembered the Chesterfield brand, knew Chesterfield was a quality stand-up brand. Not anymore. Chesterfield is a trash brand. Lucky Strikes, again, a trash cigarette. They're super cheap. They're two of the cheapest cigarettes, like with a brand name that you recognize on them. They may be the cheapest brand name, recognizable brand name cigarette that you can buy, and they're trash. They're absolute trash. I've tried them a couple different times, trying to like at least kind of like them, and they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. Oh, the old Kents. They're 1965 or 67. Kent did those. What were they? They had asbestos in them. The filters had asbestos in them, which is something starts with an M. Bananas that they did that, and those cigarettes, like, you can still find them if you're looking real hard. 20 years. Well, congratulations on that. I've been cutting way back the last few days. I'm trying to quit again. I ain't gonna talk about it until I do it. The other day I had 7 in the whole day, so that was a good day. Today I've probably had a few more because I've just been, like, the stuff that I've been doing, I've just smoked a cigarette here and there. Pack of Chesterfield, some 65. Didn't get to smoke them. They must have been kept in terrible condition. Had holes in them from bugs. Yeah, that'd have been weevils. I don't have any packs with weevil holes as an example. I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't have any handy. I mean, I have some. Well, no, probably not even in my glass case. I have some. I have some smokes that have weevil holes in them, and they. Here's the deal: if you see one hole, and sometimes they don't even have to make a hole, like because the way cigarette packs are made, they can get in without boring a hole. But typically, you'll see at least one hole. If you see one hole, that entire pack is done. It's every cigarette is going to be eaten through multiple times. They get in there, they eat the tobacco, and then they poop it out. And to be honest, it kind of looks similar the way it came out of them as before it did when it go. It's just kind of smaller and more gritty looking, but it still kind of looks like tobacco. Like it looks like shaky tobacco. I used to do the same thing, Brainstrom. We had a little convenience store called, well, Josephine is the one that owned it. She was old when I was a kid, but she lived to be like, I want to say she lived to be like 102. She lived to be very, very old. And she had a 1964 Impala that had only going to church miles on it. Like, that's the only time she drove that car, was to go to church, and that was it. And sometimes I don't even think she drove it to go to church. I think she drove it with other people sometimes. I think when her grandson ended up getting that car, it had less than 23,000 miles on it, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a cream white color, 396, 4-speed. It was an SS car. It was a nice car. It was a real nice car. Anyways, Josephine's. My grandma would write me a note, what she wanted, give me the money, and I would go down to Josephine's, take the note and the money in, and she would give me whatever cigarettes my grandma wanted. I'm telling you, man, this has almost like a hardiness to it, but it's just, I don't know how to describe other than it's super clean tasting. It's just like a really pure. There's no bitterness. There's no bad aftertaste. There's no like nasty taste in your mouth. I'm telling, and they don't smell bad. These things are something else. I have to imagine if they sold these Pall Malls right here in America, they would probably be, in where I live, they'd probably be $12 to $15 back, if I was a betting man. And I picked these up a few weeks ago, and I didn't know what they were. And the people that at the checkout counter, I was like, "What are those?" They were like, "Oh, I don't know." And if they were ultralights or super lights or something, like, I was like, "Man, I don't want to buy it," because they had them on clearance, because they said they were outdated. They were $5 a pack, but I was afraid that they were going to be like some sort of ultralight, just judging by the pack, the way they look, the color. And I got them home, and I didn't even open them that night. I think I waited till the next day to open them up. And I opened them up, and they're non-filters, American Spirit non-filters, and these are really good, actually. Not as good as these, but they're pretty good. But had I known, like, they had 15 or 20 packs of these in there, I would have bought them up. But nobody buys non-filters. Like, hardly anybody buys non-filters. Like that pack of Pall Mall non-filters that I have, I bought in a gas station, and they're 13 years old. Like, the pack is 13 years old, and I bought it out of a gas station. Told your old lady about going to the store with a note for cigs when I was 7 years old, and she looked at me with horror. Hey, I'll bet I was probably I was probably 6 or 7 when she used to send me into the store with the note and the money. Same deal. And then I got a little CR60 motorcycle, little 2-stroke Honda motorcycle. And it was about probably a mile and a half from my grandma's to down there. And I got that motorcycle when I was like 10, probably. And I used to ride down there and get her cartons of cigarettes all the time. The good old days. But I'll say this. When I turned 16, which I mean, I started driving when I was like 12. My grandma had me driving her car when I was 12. My grandma and grandpa were drinkers. Well, my whole family were alcoholics. They were what I would consider to be, no, they were hardcore alcoholics. They drank a lot. My grandma and grandpa drank a lot of beer. My mom and dad drank a lot of liquor, or whiskey, brown whiskey. Cheap. Like, I don't know if they were plastic bottles back then. I don't think they were. But they were the great big bottles, like gallons. It just, ugh. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, my grandma had me driving when I was like, driving her car on the road when I was like 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. When I was 16, 15, 16, whatever, I think I was, I mean, I drove some with just a permit when I was 15, but when I was 16, bought my first car. The first car I bought was a Camaro. I'd go through drive-thrus all the time. Like, I had a full goatee. I could have grown a beard, but I didn't. I grew a goatee. I did have big sideburns, though. I used to wear big sideburns. Whatever. Anyway, but, like, I used to buy cigarettes all the time when I was 16, 17, 18, 17. Well, you were legal when you're 18. Now it's 21, which I think is crazy. I think that's crazy. You can vote when you're 18, but you can't buy a pack of cigarettes. That don't make sense. Not to me, it doesn't. Smoking's not cool now like it was when I was growing up. Like, probably when a lot of us were growing up. Like, used to be, smoking cigarettes was a cool thing to do. Like, I don't know, it just, ugh, kind of dumb. Had a lady across the street when I was a kid. She bought an Impala SS 327 dual 4 barrels and drove it to the store in the church. Wanted that car so bad. Yeah. That sounds a lot like Josephine's car. I mean, kind of, except hers was a 396 Super Sport with a, I don't know if it was, it might have been a standard. She might have drove a stick. It seems to me like it was a standard. I don't know. Were all 396 Super Sports 4 speeds? They might have been. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe some of them were. I'm sure there was automatics. I'm sure some of them were automatics. I don't know. I'll never forget what that car looked like. Every once in a while, she'd leave it parked up front in front of the store, because where there was, like, she lived at the store, like the front part of her house was a store, and then she lived in the back part, and then downstairs underneath the house was the garage, and that's where she parked the Impala. Parents drank a lot of beer. Mom could drink a 12-pack or more a night and be at work at 7, no problem. Okay, so I've probably said or told this before, but when I was little, so the American Legion is in my backyard right here. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it when we were outside earlier, but it's right there. Our yards connect. And then the VFW is about 6 miles, 5.5, 6 miles downriver, down the road. And when I was a kid, started probably when I was about 6 or 7 years old, my grandpa would take me from the VFW to the American Legion back to the VFW, and then we'd probably end the night at the American Legion. We would make multiple trips up and down the road. And he'd pull tip boards and stuff, and he won all kinds of guns and stuff. Like, he was into doing stuff like that. World War II vet. He didn't talk about that much, but maybe he did with his buddies in VFW and American Legion, but I don't remember him talking about it much. Taught me how to play pool, and taught me how to play ping pong in the American Legion right here. And I never go over there. Like, I've been thinking about going over there just and going in and playing some pool or ping pong, because they still got it. It's exactly the same way it was whenever I was growing up. Still in the same, like, everything's still in the same place. It still smells the same in there. It still looks the same. A lot of the same people are still there. It's kind of weird, really. But anyways, my grandpa would I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that I would say on a heavy day, he would put down 230 packs of Old Milwaukee in a day, 60 beers in a day. He would sit down and drink 10 beers. But you would never know that man had drank a beer. Not from my perspective. And we done this until I was probably like 11 or 12 years old. And then that's kind of when I stopped doing that with him. And then I think it was about 3 years later, 2-3 years later is when he passed away. It would have been 1994. So it'd been when I was 12 or 13. I'd have been 13. Or no, I'd have been 12. Or maybe he passed away in 96. Anyway, he drank a lot of beer. And my grandma, she could put away half of it. 30-pack. She'd put away a 30-pack Old Milwaukee in a day. This is starting off, they'd both drink coffee first thing in the morning. But, I don't know, by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, like, they were drinking beer. Both of them. Like, and it was all day. My grandma, she would get drunk. Like, she didn't handle her alcohol all that well. She wasn't a bad drunk. Like, she wasn't hard to get along with, but she wasn't like super funny or anything like that. But she wasn't like an outlandish drunk. But she was definitely, like, you could tell she was drunk. But my grandpa, stoic, no reaction, no change. You'd never know that he'd put 60 Old Milwaukees down his gullet. Like, you'd never know. I don't know how he done it. He'd done this with a pacemaker. Like, he had a pacemaker. How, like, looking back at the things that were going on, they were normalized to me, and I didn't realize how crazy they were. This stuff was crazy. Any of us, I think is what you mean, any of us would be on the floor. Okay, I've told this story. I don't know if I've told it to you guys, but I've told this story to people. Well, this is 100% the truth. I only saw my grandpa drunk one time in my entire life. He was putting a roof on my grandma's house down in Leon. And he had been up on the roof drinking. He started off first thing in the morning up on the roof. Him and, I don't know who else was working with him, but him and somebody else. And he started drinking. And it was in the middle of the summer. I think it was like July. It was like the end of June or July. And he was up there drinking on the roof all day, roofing the house. And he came down off the roof. I'm going to assume it was like between 2 and 4 o'clock. And when he came down off the roof, on both sides of my grandma's house, there was pretty good little hillsides that you had to walk up. And the side that he came down on had a hill that came up, and then it kind of leveled out, and then there was another pretty steep hill that came up, and then you got to the front of like where it leveled out at the front of the house. He came down off the ladder, and I watched him step to the right, and then I watched him go to the left a few steps, and then I watched him go to the right again, and he fell down. And I out loud heard him say, "God, I'm drunk." The only time I ever seen any change in the man from alcohol. And for certain never heard him say anything like that out loud. The one and only time that I ever seen him, actually have an impact from alcohol, and it was obvious. Yeah, I feel like I didn't know my grandpa without alcohol. I don't. I mean, when he first got up in the morning, I looking back now, like I imagine he probably had the shakes. Although he did drink coffee first thing in the morning, and like a true hardcore alcoholic, even though he was putting away 60 beers in a day, he was still drinking coffee in the morning. And I don't think he even thought about it or looked at it as him being an alcoholic. It was just part of his daily routine. It was just what he done every day. I don't know, like, I think back at like what kind of money all that stuff would have had to have taken. Like, we're constantly pulling tips on the tip board. He's playing all the drawings and all the other crap that they done, and buying beers at bars, which I'm sure it was fairly cheap back then. And of course, being vets, like it was, I don't know, if I was to guess, what, 50 cents, $1 a beer or something. But still, I mean, money went further back then, but you had less of it. I just imagine that he went through a lot of money doing that. I don't know. But yeah, I imagine he had to drink Dreams He Smokes. If he would have went a day without drinking, might have killed him. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I was too young. I mean, my parents were alcoholics, and I hated. I really disliked what they turned into when they drank. So I knew that I didn't like the type of drunks that they were, or the type of alcoholics that they were. But my grandpa never done any of that. Like, he never gave me any of those indications, so I never thought about it like that, and I never looked at him as like being an alcoholic. Although he had, like, obviously he was. He did this every day. Like, I'm not talking like this was a weekend thing. He did it every day. It was a routine. It was just something he'd done from the time he got up, just about, to the absolutely time he went to bed. Absolutely, alcoholics do drink themselves to death. They get themselves to a point to where they kind of can't go without it, and then once they're to that point, sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, like quitting cold turkey or something, it can kill them, can it not? Isn't alcohol detox one of the ones that can kill you? I could be wrong, but I think it is. Yeah, if they got the shakes and they aren't able to drink, they'll end up dead. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, unfortunately, I know people that get sick if they don't drink too. And after all the stuff that I went through in my childhood with my parents, which it took me a long time to understand, like, forgiveness and like letting that stuff go. Best thing I ever done was the letting that stuff go and the forgiveness, by far. Forgiving your parents. Like, you can't move on with your own life until you forgive your parents. You can't become your own person until you, I swear, at least that it was that way for me. I don't know if it's that way for everybody, but this was that way for me. I feel like holding that stuff in and thinking about it, like, it held me back big time. But yeah, the stuff I saw with them made me want to never be that, and to I don't enjoy drinking. That's why every once in a while I'll drink one of these old beers or something, but like, it's not something I would ever do for, I guess, a recreational enjoyment or anything like that. I mean, I've been out to dinners and stuff with people. With the whole TV show thing, that it was more common during that time. We'd go to a dinner and people would order drinks or something, or order me a drink, and I'd drink it. But it's not like I wasn't doing it to get drunk, I guess, was the difference. Maybe it was just a recreational thing. Although sometimes there would be a change in mood if you had a couple, or if I had a couple, because I have virtually no tolerance. Like if I chug 2 of these old beers, like I really feel it. I really feel it, and it no exaggeration. Like it's it changes things. Yeah, my parents, well, my mom worked in bars and stuff, so I've seen enough of it. But I've also, I mean, it's in my family, so. It's actually really good. I might end up doing this to the rest of it. I have to get some more creamer, but this is, I don't know, it's pretty good dry too, though. It's good this way too. It's just good. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. The LRPs are amazing. I do plan on sharing some of them, because it's the right thing to do. And I'm glad I got that case open now that I can get into it and share some of them. So I drink more than I should. My father was an alcoholic. I usually have 5 drinks a day. I get the shakes. I don't drink. I do feel like crap. Huh. Well, yeah. I feel like we all have our vices in one way or another. And that could literally be a million different things. And I'm not so sure that we're supposed to feel bad about all of them. You know what I mean? I feel like we are probably supposed to be able to have some sort of relaxation and recreational enjoyment out of life. So maybe not every day, but like 5 out of 7 days. If you could skip a day twice a week, might make all the difference. But yeah, the feeling like crap thing, that sucks though, because that puts you in this loop to where you feel like you got to do it, or you won't feel right, you won't feel good. And who wants to feel bad? Like who enjoys, who is okay with just feeling like crap? I know I'm not, although I do feel like crap a lot. Tim, probably sometime in the early 80s. Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's just different for me because I've never had a problem with it. So I do occasionally have the old beer or something. Like this is a super cool one. And I love this. Gabe hooked me up with this. But this would have been one that my grandma and grandpa would have been drinking back in the day. Although they usually did the cans. I mean, every once in a while you'd see bottles. But this seems like a small bottle too. This is not a regular size bottle. This is going to be nice and chunky. Chunky monkey. But the label's not in good shape at all. But it is an old Milwaukee from 1952. This is a 1952 Old Milwaukee. I think it's called Duraglass, and it's got the date stamped right on the bottom of it. Now, that being said, this bottle was produced in 1952, but it does appear like it was recycled at least a couple times. So, or it might have just been recycled once. It's not heavy recycled. The rub lines on the side are not heavy, but they're there. But yeah, that's going to be a cool one, man. Like that just has a lot of symbolic meaning to it for me, being that it's an old Milwaukee. And this would have been the area. My grandma and grandpa would have been drinking this beer in that time period, 1952. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Which I'm sure my grandpa started drinking as soon as he came back from the war. I doubt he spent much time elsewhere doing much else, because he was supposedly that. Now, I used to have a bunch of newspaper articles. I think I've talked about this before. The old dresser that I used to have in my bedroom used to have a bunch of old newspaper articles where he played for a minor league baseball team, and he was getting ready to go into a professional baseball team, and then he ended up going to World War II. So he ended up not getting to do that, and then he got shot twice, and that ruined that. He got shot in the shoulder and got shot in the wrist right here. He always wore a watch over an old military watch. He would wear the face of it down here to cover up the big, it was like a big, huge indentation. Like it blew his wrist out, and it was just gone. But he still had full functionality of his hands, so they must have saved his tendons. I don't know. I feel like that would have wrecked your hand and your mobility, but somehow he still had full mobility with his hands. But he had that big crater in his wrist right there. So, Falstaff? I do not. Another one they drank was Drewey's. Had a Canadian Mountie on the bottle. Drewey's. Never heard of that one before. Never seen it before. Falstaff. Can't say as I do. Yeah, Milwaukee is, I mean, I would say it's probably responsible for, at one point, it was responsible for probably about 70% of the beers in America, if not 80%. Like, a lot, if not most of the beer in the United States was coming out of the Milwaukee area. It was really, really, and there was a couple in Colorado, Coors was in Colorado, and then, which Anheuser kind of, well, they were out of Milwaukee as well, but they were kind of all over the place. I mean, they had facilities, manufacturing facilities all over the place. Spent a lot of your youth in that town. So, Wisconsin's kind of getting to be a weird state. I feel like it didn't used to be that way, but it's certainly kind of swinging to the left, if you get what I'm saying. It's getting soft, and they're doing some weird stuff, man. I'll tell you what, I saw that video. I don't know if you guys saw that video of that guy who was floating down the river, and what I seen, now I didn't sit down and watch the whole court case. I did watch some of it. Those kids were lying through their teeth when I saw their testimonies. My God, like it was so blatantly obvious. Well, not only that, but they were caught up in lies. Like they told police officers one thing, and then they're saying something different in court. And it was just lie after lie after lie. But I don't know if you guys saw where that kind of, I think he was like 59 or 64-year-old man that had just had open heart surgery. I want to say he was German or something. He had like a German name. Anyway, like they kind of knocked him down and started beating the crap out of him, and then he defended himself. From what I seen in the video, it was pretty obvious that he was trying to defend himself. Now, that being said, he defended himself against a young teenage girl that probably weighed, what, 120 pounds, 115 pounds, soaking wet. Man, I mean, I don't know how he was feeling in the moment, because he was surrounded by, I do believe, 13 of them. 12 or 13 of them, maybe more. I'm not exactly sure on the number. It was a lot. And I know one of the girls had just hit him or smacked him while he was down in the water. But I didn't see the video of it actually happening. All I saw was a blurred version. So, but I could hear everything, and you could get a pretty good idea from the blurriness of what exactly was happening. From what I understand, though, they convicted that guy. I don't understand, and I do. He made some mistakes too, like getting rid of the knife that he had to protect himself with, which I think is crazy. Falstaff had a cool shield logo. I kind of remember Falstaff. Like, that name kind of rings a bell. My phone's getting ready to die, by the way. My camera's getting ready to die. Let me see if I can Google it. Is it 2 F's or 1? Oh yeah, Chicago's has been disgusting. Like, I was afraid to be there in Chicago back in 2021 when I went up to well, I think, where did I go in Wisconsin? I went somewhere in Wisconsin to Matt's wedding. Was it Milwaukee? I don't know. Somewhere up there on the Great Lake. Can't remember the name of the town that I went to. Anyway, when I came back and I broke down in Chicago, the fuel pump went out of my car. Right in the middle of Chicago on my way back. And I had to change it in the parking lot of a Whole Foods. It was either that or be stuck there for the next week, paying for a hotel, paying for tow trucks, paying for everything. So I ended up paying, like, I want to say $450 for a fuel pump from AutoZone, which was crazy, and then barely having enough tools to drop the fuel pump, drop the tank, change the fuel pump out. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, Chicago is a place that I have zero desire to go. FALS, okay. AFF. Falstaff Brewing Corporation. I do remember that. I think I might have something that's Falstaff. When did they stop making it? Yeah, that's cool. All right, y'all. I'm going to have to get off here, though, because my camera is going to die, and I don't want it to be one of those weird ones where it just cuts out. So, thank you guys for hanging out in the chat. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Either way, Google just wants feedback. Yeah, man, super awesome food. 1998. Probably the best single meal rations the American government's ever made. Natick ever came up with. Best components, best meals, period, as far as single meals go. I mean, corned beef hash is always going to be pretty near the top of my list, because that whole meal, just like almost the whole thing. There's some good new ones too. So, like, but these 1998s, like, every single one of those meals, except the spaghetti, is awesome. Spaghetti when I could care less about that one. But all right, y'all. I will say thanks to my patrons. I really appreciate you guys. Like, this weird line. What is that? Do you guys see that? Or is it just on my camera? Oh no, that's like a weird line on my, oh, it's from my hat. Okay. All right. Thanks to my patrons. Appreciate you guys. Really, I do. Huge thanks to Delicious. Go subscribe to Delicious's channel. I'm super late in this thing, but I said it at the very beginning. I've said it in the middle. Said it again. Definitely subscribe to his channel. And I want to make up something special to send to him. Like, really, I kind of fear sending it out of the U.S. to him just because of how they are, but I want to give it a shot anyway. I want to try. We need to come up with something really good to send him. I don't know what it'll be. Something he can't get over there. Some things he can't get over there. Probably go large flat rate. It'll be like $120 to ship it. Doesn't matter. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. And I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Later.